is up, everyone? Vex30 here, coming in with my pre-season 3 support tier list. I've been wanting to do a tier list for so long. It's been like 2 patches since I've done one, so I figured I'd get one in before it's season 3, kind of like where we can have an idea where the supports are pre-season 3, and there's still a whole like a month or 2 before it even comes out. So if you want to know how supports are faring right now, who's good, here's the list for you. Also, on that note, later this week, I'm going to be doing a full pre-season 3 tier list. Not a support tier list, but a tier list. Every champion will be included. Now, I don't have the best opinions on all champions, but I'm going to give my opinions on where I think everybody is in the meta and how high up there I think they are currently pre-season 3. So, I hope you enjoyed this video. Also, one quick little thing, this is coming from a competitive perspective. There are certain supports that do better at lower ranks, and I will address that in this video, but I'm sorry if some champions are not as high that you think. I plan with a full tier list to do it based on a casual, just a gameplay perspective, not a competitive perspective, but just a gameplay perspective, how good they are for the whole game. So with the tier list, the supports will be ranked maybe a little bit differently, but in this one, it's more of a competitive idea. So just keep that in mind when you're watching. Be sure to comment down below what you think though, and give me your opinions on the tier list. Also, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification button. And also think about becoming a member, because I do live streams at least 3-4 times a week. I do member live streams, sub live streams, community live streams, all those kind of things. So be sure to check out my live streams as well. But for now, let's jump right into this tier list. And we're back. And let's jump actually right into this tier list because we have a lot of champions to get through. Not really, it's only supports, but you know, it still takes a while because I do over explaining. So first up on the list will be alphabetical, of course. Furia. Furia is coming in at A+. Now, the reason I'm putting Furia at A+ is there's going to be a common theme in this tier list. We won't go above A. I don't think any support right now is so broken to put him even S-. I think all the supports are very close together, and I feel like it's one of the best support. No, I know for a fact that is probably the most healthy, balanced support meta we've ever been in. So that's why we're going to start at A+, and this will be the highest we go. So let's start with Furia. Now, I put Furia up at A+ because, one, she does well with most comps in the game. The only time she struggles is with a passive comp against an aggressive comp. Even then, she still does okay. Her damage output kind of helps slow down aggressive comps. She can fight off flankers herself, so she gives the ultimate to the whole team to fight off the aggression. So that's why Furia is up there at A+. Her ultimate is extremely good. No counters to it. Her healing output is okay. It's not the best. Usually you run Cherish. I get people run Solar Blessing. I will do a video soon on why Cherish is better than Solar Blessing. But for now, we're doing this tier list, and Cherish is the main one I'm talking about. Her utility is amazing. That beam is so good at setting up kills. And her damage is kind of just disgusting. It's actually disgusting how much damage she does. She can fight off any flanker in the game. Another common theme you'll see in this tier list though is I'm going to talk about how these champions do in different compositions. So when you're looking at your team, you see them playing aggressive. Furia is honestly just the way to go. If you see a passive comp, you know, there might be better champions, but Furia can still work if you don't play Furia. That's why she's so high up there, because how versatile she is in the current meta. And going down the list here, Grok. Grok is the lowest on our list here, and he will be all the way down to scroll C. He is bad. Very, very bad. Maybe on console there's uses for him, but on PC Paladins, he's bad. Spirit's Domain, awful. Totem Grok, awful. It limits your team way too much. Spirit's Domain, he just gets fragged. He gets fragged with Spirit's Domain because he has no self-sustain besides his totem, and when he's healing allies, it puts him back in combat, so he can't even heal out of combat. Why does that make sense? Change that mechanic. hi-rez, please. Please, I'm begging you. I want Spirit's Domain to be good because Grok has an upside. His ultimate, Tempest, or whatever it's called. It's amazing. It does well in every team comp. It's good against aggressive and passive team comps. It denies aggression because you have your team just zooming around everywhere and they're getting healing. It's really good with aggressive comps because you zoom everybody in and they get healing. So Grok can be really good, but he sucks because his two talents are completely and utterly useless. Now let's talk about Big Tree Daddy Grover. Grover on this list is gonna go to A. Now, I can't put him A+ because he has limiting factors, which we'll talk about now. Map dependency. With the way Grover works, he has an AoE heal that can't reach everyone on all maps. Now, on these maps, that including Ice Mines, Stone Keep, Jag when your team plays 2 lanes, so like there's usually there's 3 lanes on a map, and Jag is super split, but if they play 2 lanes, Grover's OP. So really you want to have a coordinated team to run it on Jag, and then Bright Marsh. Those 3 maps specifically, and then Jag he excels and exceeds expectations on. It's kind of insane how good he is. The biggest thing about Grover that a lot of people don't understand is his ultimate hard counters CC ultimates. So say you have an Inara, taking her spear and throwing it, as she throws her spear and you go like this, you ulti, you don't get CC'd, and you heal your team while they're CC'd, because usually when you Inara ult, their team aggresses. Pip ulti. I've done it in the PPL. I've showed it was against Envy. I denied so many Pip ults, but as soon as you hear that Bakal Pip makes whenever he shoots his ultimate, you go like this and be like, no chickens for you, no KFC today, bro. And you're like, oh, my ultimate's now useless. And then with Grover, you buy morale boost and you're like, guess what? I have my ultimate for yours, and you save it for them. And say they have 2 CC ults. You can decide which one you want to counter, which one's more prevalent. And if somebody on your team has a counter ult to the other one, then boom, you counter ult. Counter ults are something in Paladins that a lot of people don't look at. And then besides that, his cripple is amazing. It counters out champions. Let's look at this. It counters out hard counters so many champions, right? Eevee on her blink in, Ashe on her dash. Who else? It hard counters like any support when they're getting dove. Buck with bounce house. You cripple him, he doesn't get the damage when he lands. Just champions like the Andro. Andro, when you get crippled, you just drop out of the sky. Drogos, when he's playing Worm Jets, you cripple him in the air, boom, falls down. The cripple is actually insane. It mainly hard counters Eevee and Ashe, and Grover in general is a hard counter to Ashe. Cripple or dash, ultimate her ultimate, what she's useless. She's completely and utterly useless, and you can throw your axes above her shield. Wow, that's pretty fun. But enough ranting about Grover. He does really good healing, good healing, really good ultimate, good damage on certain maps like Ice Mines. You'd really start chunking people. He is limited by map dependency. That's his issue. He would be A+, S- if he wasn't. If the maps were a lot smaller in Paladins, he would probably be broken, but for now we keep him on A. Now let's talk about the new one herself. The one that everybody loves, the second waifu to Ying. Ying is Bane waifu. The second waifu, Io. Io has made a tear into the scene. I called it. From the beginning, she won't be good, and then as soon as somebody figures out how to play her, she's going to be good. And guess what? That is exactly what happened. That's why we're going to put her at A+. At a competitive level, at least, she is very good right now. At the beginning, nobody knew how to play her, and she wasn't picked. We picked her once, got a win with her, but it wasn't that good. And then Gara from Kanga, their support, figured out how to play DR-Io and how to play it with their team. Now, Kanga's issues was they over-relied on Io. It was punishable, but Gara learned how to play Io and taught everybody else to build and how to play it. So good on him, and thank you for doing that, because now she is second highest with Furia. And the reasons being, you can cap point with the dog. You don't have to run the standard point tank, off tank. You can run off tank, or 2 point tanks, but send them on the side lanes and not the point. Io enables so much out of your team comp by just putting the dang dog on point. It's like, whoa, that's crazy. And like, you don't even have to start with dog on point. They can buy bulldozer, right? That's fine. Let them go point, have your team aggress into them, force them back, because it's a 5v4 if they send somebody on point, and that person on point has to get off over time. And when that person gets off, you put dog on point, and then boom, you're winning the fight again. On a zone, you keep dog on point. It is a 5v5 on a zone. And in any military strategist head, the defenders usually have an advantage. Except for CS, Peaker's advantage. That's totally different. But defenders have advantage because they have positions to set up in, and aggressors have to figure out where they are. Defenders usually get the first shot in Paladins. There's so much to a 5-man zone against a 5-man. It is insane, and Io enables it. Not to mention her Talent, Goddess Blessing. Damage, 25% damage reduction. It's insane. Like on all champions, when you're healing any champion, it's actually broken. It's not broken. It's very good. It's very good. Not broken. I wouldn't consider it broken. But she does have limiting factors. That's why she's not higher. Moonlight, her passive charge on her healing. As you're healing an ally, your Moonlight goes down. As you're not healing an ally, it goes up. It's as simple as that. And that is what limits her. That's why she's not higher. But the other thing that limits her is I'm getting frustrated because her ultimate is so bad. It has a couple of good uses, right? To counter ult, say Barrack or an Ashe, or to ult somebody off the map, of course. But it's very hard. But her ultimate is so limiting. Her healing is so limiting. But I'm frustrated, but I'm happy because if they were both good, I would be SS. Now let's talk about the Ascended, the one and only Jenos. Jenos is a very interesting character in this meta. At a competitive level, I actually don't think he's that good. But it's very hard not to give him props where props due. So Jenos is going to go to A, and let me explain. First of all, he is great with most comps. The comp he struggles the most with is playing a passive comp against an aggressive comp. So your team is sitting back, they're aggressing. Jenos does not go to that because it's just not enough sustain. It's just not. Like the damage amp does not, it just doesn't counteract the fact that you're not doing enough healing. I've tested this extensively in scrims and I've proven it just doesn't work. That's the main situation he struggles. Besides that, he can be used in every single other comp. So that's why he's so versatile. That's why he's on A and not any lower, because he can be used. He's not the best in any situation. I'd rather pick a Damba if the situation's right, which I'll explain. Furia in aggressive comps, I'd rather have Furia. Io with aggressive comps, I'd rather have Io. That's why I was very tempted to keep him or put him down in A- instead of A. But he's so good at all levels that it's hard to put him down any lower. One thing that holds him back is his ultimate, but also shoots him way up. Because when Jenos has realized how to combo an ultimate, Jenos is ascend into a next level Jenos. And it's not a hard concept. You see it in our ulting. She takes her spear back. You look where she throws it at somebody. They're stunned. You have a beam that charges up for 1.2 seconds. I don't know if the Nara stuns 1.5, 2, 1. I'm not sure. But if you see who they're going to stun, you prep that Jenos ult. Boom. They're dead. There's nothing they can do. They are stunned. When you can learn how to combo ult with CC, you can ascend on Jenos. Now, if you can really learn how to just wing an ulti and find an ulti, play your ultis off of dashes. Say you see a Cassie roll, predict her roll, and throw the ultimate. She can't roll out of it. Or Leanne after ultimate or after dash. Like, there's so many different things you can do, and like counter snipers really well because it's very hard for them to get out. When you can learn how to use Jenos ult, he excels. His biggest issue though is his healing output. He's versatile, but he's the jack of all trades, master of none, I'd say, because there's always a better champion than Jenos for the situation, but he does his job. Now, let's talk about my main bay, besides Furia. I think Furia is my main bay now, but Damba is my all-time favorite. I say this every single time I talk about Damba, is the most well-balanced design character in the game. That's it. There's no ifs, ands, ors, or buts about that. He is. We are going to put him in A. Now, the one place that Damba struggles, again, he's a great overall champion. He works in any situation, but he doesn't work as well when your team has a lot of crowd control. So say, like, if you don't know what crowd control is like a Nara ult, it's CC. So a Nara ult stuns, that's CC. Grover root legendary, when you cripple somebody, that's CC. When you root somebody, that's CC. All that is CC. And if your team has a lot of it, the enemy team will buy the card Resilience. In Resilience, hard counters his ultimate and his utility. So now you're losing two major factors on Damba. That's where he struggles. That's why he's not higher on this list, because of Resilience. If you can find a team comp where you're the only CC, Damba exceeds. He blasts off and becomes one of the best supports in the game. That's why I said all supports can be used situationally, because there's very specific cases that they're OP. In Damba, that's it. When your team doesn't have CC, he excels and exceeds. When your team has CC, he's still a good support. He still does his job. That's why he's at A, but not A+. He's just one of the best overall champions. He just has one downfall, which is CC. His healing is amazing. His utility is amazing. His ultimate's amazing. His damage is okay. His movement's okay. But when your team has CC, he doesn't excel and exceed. So when you see Damba, or your team without much CC, pick Damba and you will pop off. Now let's talk about one of the more extreme situational characters, because there's like 2 situations where I'd use him, but I still can't put him lower because he has uses. Pip, the Volpine himself, the little yellowish furry. We're gonna put him down in A-. I can't justify putting him in A, and it's very hard. Go down, and it's very hard to justify him getting close to Grok because how useless Grok is. The reason Pip is at A-, and I call him the most situational character in the game, because there's like 1, maybe 2 situations he can be used on. Combat Medic, Bright Marsh. Okay, follow me on this one. Combat Medic on Bright Marsh. Your team doesn't have anybody who flies like Drogos, which you can still use potion for it, so it's okay. Your team doesn't have flanks because it's very hard to heal them with your autos. You can still potion them, but it makes it very difficult, and you can run better things. So your team's very stationary, passive, no flankers, doesn't fly, and your team doesn't have a lot of CC because his ultimate gets major value. That right there, Pip pops off. And there are other maps like that, but Bright Marsh is the main use case for it. I know it's a very, very, very situational case, but that's what this meta is. Supports are all situational. And when you can understand where the support fits in the meta, you just, your brain just goes galaxy. You know what I mean? Like, that's where, like, that's what I want to start teaching everybody. Like, there's so many cases where these supports can be used, but people don't use them, but they will be better than the other support. Situational is all supports are right now. And that's why I love this meta, because it makes you think every situation for these supports and trying to figure this out. That's why I want to help you figure it out too. But yeah, Pip is one of the more extreme situational characters. I put him at A- instead of B because of that reason, because it's a very good point about the meta right now. That's, you can't put him on A because he's not A, and he's close to B, but I'm going to put him on A- for now. Pip, very good explanation on the meta currently. Very good at what he does in that situation. And there's probably a couple more in different maps, but Bright Marsh is the main one. Pip, if you see that situation, play him, and I promise, if you can hit your auto attacks, again, that's another thing, you have to be skillful with autos, you will pop. Now, this one was very, very, very difficult for me to put her where she is, because everything in my head tells me no, don't do it, stated competitiveness. But this character is so good at low to mid levels that I cannot put her any lower than where she is. Seris, she's going to be going A-. I think Seris is trash at competitive level. I'm sorry. But at low to mid levels, she's a very good bridge support. Bridge means new player, pick Seris, bridges them to learn the support mechanics. And now she can move on. They can move on to new supports. She's a very good character in that regard. Her biggest issues is her ultimate is not that good. She cannot heal and damage like every other support. Not every other support. That's false. Io can't. Who else? Who am I thinking of? Damba technically can because his heal time is so slow. Or so fast. Pip, Combat Medic, technically can't. But Sarah struggles from that. Her ultimate's not good. Her movement ability is not that good. She doesn't have utility. Like, everything hurts. There's always a better situation for another support, but all the other supports do take a level of skill and practice. Seris, you can pick her straight up and be good because her healing output is extremely high. That's why she's good at low to mid tier levels, but not good at competitive. It pains me to put her A- instead of B, But I know for a fact how good she is in those levels, so we're going to keep her there, and hopefully one day we can put her high. Now, last but not least whatsoever, our favorite waifu, Ying. Ying, she's the best overall, all-around healer right now in the game. She is good at what she does. In every single situation, she's good. But that also limits her. That's why she's going to go A. Now, for some reason, it's not alphabetical. There she is. Okay. That's why she's going to go A. She works with aggressive team comps, with passive team comps, against aggressive team comps, against passive team comps. She does extremely well in all those situations because she is a heal bot. But she does it dang well. Seris is a heal bot, but her ultimate is not good. Ying's ultimate is extremely good. It does well in passive comps against aggressive comps. It does well against passive comps with a passive comp. Her ultimate is good in every situation. Cauterize, of course, counters it, but when your team is just going in, any healing helps, even late game. It's such a high healing per second that it doesn't matter that much. Like, Grover ult doesn't really matter. It does matter, but Grover ult's still good in COD 3 because how much it is. Ying ult is global, and for 8 seconds. It's 8 or 6. I can't remember. I should have done research before this, but I can't fully. I think it's 8. Might be 6. I think Furia is 8. Okay, moving on from that. She just works in every situation right now. Her ultimate is extremely good. She's lacking utility, but she also brings a lot of damage to the table with the changes in a patch or two ago when she does less fall off damage. So she hits harder at range, which equates to ult charge. That's a low-key buff that people don't realize. Also, she can jump and heal now, which is pretty cool. Ying is all but ult charge. So buying morale boost on her and just going bzz, bzz, bzz and getting ult charge is massive because the ultimate is game changing. If you get Ying ult first, you win. First point, you get Ying ult first, you just win the game. You win the point. There's no losing it because the ultimate is so powerful. Unless your team doesn't aggress and take advantage of that situation. You know, you could still lose. But Ying, our waifu, is the best all-around healer right now. She works in every situation, but again, like I said at the beginning of this, that limits her. That's why she's not an A+, because she doesn't excel anywhere. But she is dang good at everything she does. Now, let's do a quick overview of everything we talked about. There's a lot of information there, so we're going to do a quick rundown of every champion going from A+ down to C. We're going to talk about quick little notes about why they're there, and let's start that. Furia, A+. Very, very good at aggressive team comps. Ultimate's extremely good. Utility great. Healing is meh. Damage is extremely good. She only struggles with one team comp, which we talked about earlier. Io, Luna on point is broken. Luna on zone is broken. DR is extremely good. Limited by healing and Moonlight. Grover, A, map dependency. It's the name of the game. Icemine, Stonekeep, Bright Marsh, sometimes Jag. That's the only maps he's mainly good on. The rest he kind of struggles. Jenos. Jack of all trades, master of none. He can work in all team comps except for when you have a passive against aggressive team comp. But he does well in all situations. Now, I was very tempted to put him in A- and put Pip and Seris at B, but I couldn't justify it because how good he is and how easy he is to use. And if you can master his ultimate, he's insane. Maldamba. Our love. He is just good in all situations, but unlike Ying, he gets countered pretty hard by resilience, and when your team has a lot of resilience, it's no go. His ultimate is a big part of his kit, so is his stun. Ying, all around best healer right now, but that also makes her not the best healer right now, which is weird, but I think you get it. All around, she's the best, but she's not the best. You know what I mean? It's hard to explain. Furia and Io are technically better because they are better at what they do. Ying is another case of jack of all trades, master of none. Pip, the most situational character in the game because he has like one or two situational, but in those situations, he's OP. He is a definition of the support meta currently. Seris. I put her at A- so you guys don't rage at me in the comments. I'm not gonna lie. Okay, that's not true. But she is good at mid to low tiers. She is a great bridge support. Not good at competitive level, but she's really good to pick up and learn the game on. And that's it. Oh, wait, that's not it. Sorry, there's actually another support. Oh, Grok. Yeah, sorry. Grok, yeah. Useless. Don't pick him, please. He's fun with Spirit's Domain, but it's not fun not getting healing. Useless. Don't play him in ranked. Please don't play him in ranked. Console players, I get he's kind of good on console. I'm talking about PC. Useless Grok. And bonus time. Let's talk about Moji. Because, again, I do this because you guys rage at me when I don't. For some reason, people wanted to see Torvald. As a support, wow, let's put him... Where did he even go? What just happened to Torvald? Okay, even the game gets it. He's bad. As a support. Okay, what's the other one? Khan, useless. I did a Making the Meta on this. Just go watch the videos and see how it went, okay? And Rom, I plan to do a Making the Meta on... probably going to be as useless as Torvald, Moji, and all that. Okay, all of them are bad. Stop telling me to pick them in this list. Okay, stop it. Okay, stop it. But that is it for this tier list. I hope all of your beautiful faces liked this video. I hope it helped you out understanding the last few months of this support meta. I hope it'll help you in your ranked games and all your current and future endeavors. I hope you enjoy your day, night, evening, morning, dawn, dusk, whatever it is where you live. And I will see you in the next one. Later.